Hey, you guys, it's Anne Marie. Happy Sanctuary Saturday. Hey, hey. It was sunny. It was quite sunny out and warm. I mean, there was people wearing shorts. I guess you could guess who they were. And it was interesting as soon as I pulled into the on my when I was getting ready to go into the park, I seen this huge hawk fly above me, and I haven't seen a hawk in a while. I was just thinking the other day, I haven't seen any hawks for a while, and those are my birds, right? And so I saw one. I had my sunroof open. That's how warm it's like 55 today. And I had my sunroof open and the hawk was just flying like as I was driving. It was beautiful. As soon as I pulled into the park, my car started making this crazy fucking sound. You would think it would be my brakes or something, but I just did my brakes, front and back. And then the sun went out and it got super chilly. However, we're having such a magical day, and on my way here, thank you, on my way here, I kept hearing, with great power comes great responsibility, and we've heard that before. But Spirit was giving me, we're going to pull some cards here, but Spirit was giving me some messages that there's some of you that your gifts are about to expand in a different type of way. They're about to intensify in a different type of way. And if you notice, Spirit wants you to take a look at the correlations of your healing. The more healing and the more growth you do, maybe you've recently done some introspection. Spirit showed me there was like maybe a conflict or a little tiff you had with somebody. I don't know, this is what Spirit is saying. But there was some type of situation or something where you felt uncomfortable, but you chose a different path this time. You chose the least resistance path, a path of love and compassion, not being passive, meaning you just let shit happen, but you took a different look at it. You took some accountability, and you, instead of responding and reacting in an old pattern, an old way, you did something different. Okay, so that's how you know this is for you. Or if this resonates for you, whatever. Either way, it's all good. And so because you made that choice, and you're choosing the path of healing, that there's going to be more gifts and more things that are about to expand in your life or intensify in your life. With that being said, with that power comes great responsibility. This is why I believe, you can believe what you want. This is just what I've experienced in my own life, and I've seen it and observed it with other people along this path, is the more you heal and grow, the more that will be bestowed upon you. And that is because there's those people who use their gifts and abilities, as we know, to harm people, to take from people. And so, because you're one of the chosen ones and a true earth angel, Spirit is like, hey, the more you heal and grow, the more I can trust you with these gifts and abilities. So, with that being said, we haven't pulled from, this is Repair, Evolution, Growth. Repair, Evolution, Growth. Thank you to my high vibrating ancestors, spirit guides, divine and beings, a source of light energy. It's been raining, so I had to put a little sheet down. So these cards are still a little stiff. Thank you to Archangel Michael, Archangel Ezekiel, Archangel Metatron, and Gabriel. Will you please get some messages of clarity for those who would like it, please? Okay, we'll take those. Taking the leap, courage. You have to let go of something good to get something great. Well, we've been talking about letting go here for about the last week or two. Taking the leap into the unknown can be scary, but you are being called to have faith in yourself and the universe. If you want to experience the next level of success, hence your gifts enhancing, you cannot stay comfortable. Enjoy the journey, right? And that's kind of goes along with, if you want something different, you have to go about doing something different. If you want different results, you have to try different things. And we know this, but the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? And so with whatever the situation was, you took a different path. You did some healing and some growth. False narrative. Look at this clown. Discernment. That's what they weren't expecting for you to do. They weren't expecting. It's like they came into your life or they did something. It doesn't matter if a spirit attached to them and they knew it or not. But they purposely tried to trigger you. They purposely tried to get you out of your square. Whatever the situation is, they tried to get you to act out of character so they could prove that the narrative that they spoke about you was correct. So this says false narrative, discernment. Being mindful of the story you're telling yourself and others are telling about you. Having a negative narrative is destructive and simply not true. Stop listening to your ego-based story that is laced with falsehoods and old conditioning. For every negative thing you say, counteract that by saying 3 positive words. See the truth of who you are, which is wise, magnificent, and radiant. Right. And that's what it is. And also what I was kind of saying, that someone was like feeling a little bit of guilt, like for setting boundaries with someone or standing up for yourself, right? And so what Spirit is saying is that, don't feel guilty for having these boundaries. Don't feel guilty for speaking your truth. Don't feel guilty for removing yourself from situations that are trying to pull your energy. I can see that shit coming a mile away. Like, oh, look at this fool trying to come up in my energy, trying to project things onto me. And I denounce it immediately. And so don't feel guilty for setting these boundaries, for loving yourself, for healing, for growing. And Spirit is saying this is important, because when these gifts are bestowed upon you, when you're starting to get enhancements, Spirit doesn't want you to second guess yourself, doesn't want to second guess these gifts that are being bestowed upon you. Using discernment about who you share these gifts with. It's time to evolve. There's going to be decisions that you're going to have to make. These are decisions you've already made, but there's going to be some more that are coming up that you're going to have to make. It's not a negative situation, but a necessary one. Right. Having the awareness to see it from your soul's perspective, that you chose much of this before you incarnated, is needed. You chose this, whether you remember it or not. This release of the victimhood mentality and these cards, every single word is capitalized. So this releases the victimhood mentality and pulls back your power. We must go through trials and tribulations as an opportunity to evolve. Right. How you choose to interpret the situation hinges on your growth or not. Right. Your perception of the situation. It's not about having a victim mentality. It's about setting boundaries, healing and growing, realizing whatever the situation was, this person was trying to pull in your energy, this person was trying to trigger you. And it's not about, oh, I'm just such a nice person, I don't know why people do this to me, and oh, woe is me, woe is me. It's like, you know what, I have boundaries. I know when people are pulling my energy, I trust my intuition, I know that Spirit has me, or whatever little pep talk you have to give to yourself. It's like the discernment of like any of the negative self-talk, counteracting it with positive things. I am a caring person, I am abundant, I am lovable, I am worthy. I, set boundaries because I respect my energy as much as I expect other people to respect my energy, right? Is that making sense? Is that what we need? What do we need? Do we need to clarify? Let's clarify this. We have our clarifying life realities. It's a pretty large deck, so we're going to see how we can get through it. I was going to pull from each section, or separate it because it's a pretty large deck, but what do we need clarity about? Survival demands flexibility. Adapt or perish. Embrace change or be left behind. Well, if you can't get any more clearer than that, adapt or be left behind. And another side of this is adapt to thrive. Adaptation ensures survival. Rigidness leads to decline. Right. It's like it's important, like this little lizard here. Lizzie lizard. About being able to adapt your situations. It's not about wearing a mask or being fake. It's about going into situations, picking up intuitively what it is, reading the room, reading the energy, trusting your intuition. And when thing isn't right, it's time to get up and move on. When, you're doing your healing work, it's like I said at the very beginning of the reading, like having the courage to take the leap, to heal and grow, take accountability, and to adapt to whatever's going on. If someone decides not to be your friend, or we're 919, or they don't want to be your friend, or they don't want to engage you because you have these boundaries, okay, it's heal, grow, move on, evolve, right? It's time for you to adapt. Not everything is meant to be with you. And we've said this before, a lot of times things have to burn to the ground for you to rebuild it on your own. Spirit wants this for you. And these gifts, Spirit wants me to remind you, because we're out of time, don't forget, when these gifts try to expand, don't go back into old timelines or old behaviors or old patterns if you get triggered and use your gifts for negative. That's why people denounce their gifts, because they get caught using them for the negative, and then they're like, oh shit. I hope you're healthy and happy.